Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We have a lot to talk about because the Royal Rumble just happened, and some parts of it were really good in my opinion, and other parts, not so much. So, get ready, get comfortable. We're going to go over the entire show briefly, all right? I'm not going to go over every single detail, so if you're here for that, it's not that. It's just a snapshot of what happened, and maybe later on in the week I'll go over some parts in detail. But for now, here we go. We're going to talk about the Royal Rumble 2025. We're going to be talking about the good, we're going to be talking about the bad, and we're going to be talking about the attempted murder of Kevin Owens. So the first match we started with, and the first match we're going to talk about, is the Women's Royal Rumble. I have a lot of mixed feelings about this Rumble. Overall, I thought it was really good until the finish, but we're going to get into that. I'm getting ahead of myself. First, we got to go through the highlights of what happened. One of the biggest highlights, I think, in general, was the little Rumble counter at the bottom. Hey, I've never seen that before. This is like the first time they've done that, right? I loved it because it's so hard to keep up with what's going on sometimes. You had the eliminated number, you had the people active, you had the next entrant number. I thought that was so cool. They had little stats. They were keeping track of everybody's time. Yes, please, sign me up for that. I love that. Did indeed pick Io Sky to win. And, well, I was very disappointed when she came out as number one because not for 1 second did I think after that she was going to win. I was hoping, and in general, I was picking with my heart because there was obviously one clear, definitive winner of this thing, but I was just really hoping they would give her a chance and go the opposite direction and surprise us. Now, they didn't do that here, but there was some surprises coming up later in the show, that's for sure. It was Io Sky, and it was Liv Morgan who started this thing, and I got to give a shout out to both of them. I thought they did great. Io Sky, even though she didn't win, she put on a great show, a great performance. And then number 3, Roxanne, who was kind of like the Iron Woman of the match in general. She stayed the longest in the match, and she did a phenomenal job. At one point, I really wanted her to win. I really wanted anybody but Charlotte to win, to be honest with you. I would have loved it if my grandma went in there and won instead. But nonetheless, we got what we got. But those 3 in general just put on a great, fantastic performance. Roxanne specifically stood out in my opinion. And I got to do this, okay? I got to give a shout out to Zoe Stark, but not in a positive way, okay? So my wife was watching with me, and she made the comment that she had the worst outfit in the entire Rumble. So I don't know what we're going to do about that. Zoe Stark, I'm sorry, but you've been judged, and you had the worst outfit of the Rumble. Got to put that in there. Towards the middle of the match, we had some surprises, and we had some really good spots. So one of the highlights for me was number 14, which was Maxine Dupree. She came out, and she put on an amazing show. She attacked Ivy Nile immediately, kind of feeding into that rivalry. She did her reverse caterpillar. She eliminated Ivy, and then but then got eliminated quickly. But if you want to talk about maximizing your minutes, the crowd was insanely hot the entire time she was out there, and she did just that. She went out there, entertained, and made the most of what she was given, which was not that much time. So shout out to her. Thought it was great. But then we have to talk about the surprise, or I guess the return of the night. We're going to say the return of the night. It was kind of surprising. There was reports about it. There was reports that it wasn't going to happen. Everybody was getting tossed different information. That's what you got to do nowadays, right? If you're WWE, you got to toss some false narratives here, toss some false narratives there, and you got to make it seem like it's not going to happen. And that's what they did. But we all know that Alexa Bliss did return. Huge pop. Everybody was so excited. I lost my mind. I thought it was amazing. She came out wearing the Fiend tribute, like a Fiend tribute jacket, obviously paying a tribute to Bray Wyatt, who it's still very sad to think about him passing so young. So she was able to do that. She had the doll and everything and came out, and it was just a really feel-good moment. Everybody was just like, yay, how could you be mad at this? I thought it was amazing. One thing that you can't be mad at, though, is that they didn't really do much with her in the match today. No. So there's one of those things where here come the mixed feelings. Love the return. Love the reaction. but she gets eliminated relatively quickly and doesn't really do much in the match. Now I know she's coming back. It's been a long time, so maybe they just didn't want to risk anything. Maybe she just wanted to go in there. I mean, you can't go wrong with just getting the pop and getting out, but it would have been nice to see her do a little bit more. But yeah, we'll see what happens next. And then we're going to talk about two more entrants. Number 27 was Charlotte Flair, the lucky number 27. Got an amazing ovation. It was not a surprise because it was announced beforehand, so I don't know why they really did that. So she came out, she just put on a Charlotte Flair performance, very dominant, very up in everybody's business, and very much in the middle of the ring. And I'm just kind of over it at this point, but that's how I feel about it. We had another surprise entrance, though. We had Nikki Bella come out at number 30. That was nice. I just watched the Traders episode where she got eliminated from that, so she was fresh on my mind. She came out, and I thought that was great. But that brings us to the final three of the match. We had Charlotte Flair, of course. We had Nia Jax, and we had Roxanne. And I almost forgot. Let me circle back to another thing that I have to nitpick, which was Nia Jax's elimination. So before I get to the final three, they were the final three, but how they got there was Nia Jax pretty much eliminated the entire Rumble in just like one, literal like a push, not even a push, like a shove. Not even a shove, like a tap. It was like even less than a tap. She eliminated like 6 people or whatever she did to get her numbers up. And I just thought that was really weird and lame. I go back and forth with Nia. If you've seen the channel, you know that. But I really didn't think this was the move, man. It made everybody look kind of weak. And it also didn't make sense because you could see them setting up the push spot. And I was like, guys, you have plenty of time to get back in the ring. But they were all hugging on the rope on the apron. And then she came in and did her thing. I thought that was dumb. So that was stupid. But that did lead us to the final three. It was Charlotte, Nia, and Roxanne. Nia gets eliminated. I didn't write down by who, but I think it was Charlotte. It might have been Roxanne. I don't remember who eliminated her. There was a lot of action, okay? So that happened. Nia's gone. Huge shock. That was Anna's pick. So mine was Io. Hers was Nia. We were both incredibly wrong. And then it was Charlotte and Roxanne. And I was hoping, oh my goodness, I was hoping Roxanne would actually pull it off. I thought that would have been really, really good. But no, Charlotte does her Charlotte thing, and she gets the win. Again, burying another talent. So there you go. I thought, what the heck, man? It was predictable. I was not happy about the win. I thought it was a little bit of a letdown, a bummer. Took the air out of the building. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. I don't think she needed this. I don't think it was a good call, to be honest with you. So that happened, and we all lived it, and we're gonna move on, and we're gonna see if they make something out of it. But nah. And then we had the Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag team titles. And if I had to sum this match up, look, it was a great match in a bad spot. Technically, they did phenomenal. I don't think there was any mistakes as far as technical wrestling is concerned, but the crowd was tired. I was tired. People were just wanting to get to the next 2 events. I mean, it was kind of filler in that way. But they didn't treat it like a filler match. It's sad to say that because they really worked hard, and I thought it was a phenomenal tag match. But it was just one of those that, like, not the crowd cannot be 100% the entire show, at least in the United States. They can everywhere else apparently, but not in the U.S. So you got what you got. We'll go through a couple of the falls right now. The first fall was one of the most creative ones I've ever seen. Johnny fake tagged himself in. He fake tagged himself, but he actually did not tag. So Tommaso was still legal. Got the first fall. Thought it was a very clever spot. And then the next spot, the next fall was a little bit more by the numbers. It was a Skull and Bones, which was just the finisher for the Motor City Machine Guns. Delivered it to Gargano, and they got their fall. Obviously, we're 1-1. You can't have it any other way. So who was gonna get the last fall? You're gonna find out right now. So we had the Street Profits get involved, and they cost the Machine Guns the title. So that's the second match where I got it wrong. I was very upset. I thought with all my heart they were gonna win the titles here. I I'm lost. I'm lost for words because I really thought they were going to win. There must have been something in the air because I didn't get any of them right, except for the obvious one. And so I was, but I mean, it was good. I mean, it was really good. It definitely made sense in that way. So Street Profits are going to enter the title picture now. They attacked the Machine Guns and cost them the title, but then they attacked DIY afterwards, pretty much saying, like, we didn't do this for you. We just want the titles. And could they have let them let them win? It doesn't really matter who holds the titles. Maybe they see DIY as less of a threat, and that's why they got involved. I don't know. Questions. Maybe we'll get them answered. I won't because they're on SmackDown, and I don't watch SmackDown, but I will keep up online. And that did bring us to Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship in a ladder match. And oh my God. Talk about brutal. Brutal, amazing, exciting, chaotic. Anything else you can use to describe this match, it was that. It was an amazing ladder match. It was an amazing title match on again, a card with 2 Rumbles. Not easy to do. Let's just go through it a little bit. So in the beginning of the match, KO does body slam Cody through the support beams of the ladder on the outside, and then he starts beating the hell out of him with that beam. Amazing spot. I love that. And then the fight does break out into the crowd, and that's kind of where we go from there. They go through the crowd a little bit, and then they come back. When they come back, KO gets out the tiny step ladder. So shout out, we got a Hornswoggle reference from Michael Cole. Thought that was amazing. We got the little tiny little ladder, and that was used throughout the match. So I'm glad it was not a one and done kind of thing. So it was really, really good. We had KO with a Fisherman's Buster's suplex on the ladder. And that was a huge spot. Everybody looked dead. It looked like Kevin hit the back of his head, bro. And the officials came out and they did the whole, oh my God, we might have to stop the match. This is a very scary spot kind of thing, which they've been doing a lot lately. So I'm not saying I'm sick of it yet, but I'm like right there. I'm like almost there. But this was good. And then Sami Zayn entered the chat. Sami Zayn comes out and he goes straight to Kevin Owens' side to check on his friend. And then he does absolutely nothing else. So we got a little tease there. Is Sami going to get involved? No, he's going to sit on his hands and do absolutely nothing like a little punk. But then that brought us to the finish. Kevin Owens is going for like a block, whatever you call it, like a package pile driver. That's what it's called. And Cody gets out of it, and he delivers an Alabama slam. And then you might be thinking, Alabama slam through the ladder? Like what? But the way he delivered it and the way Kevin Owens sold this Alabama slam was like he nearly got decapitated somehow. Like he looked like he was a folded accordion. Like he looked like he had one too many of the drink, and that's how you find yourself after a long night of partying kind of thing. Like he had his booty up, his head to the ground, and he just looked he looked like he was literally folded in half. It was crazy. So, and then Cody climbed the ladder and won the match. I thought Sami was going to stop him. No, they took a while too, maybe planting that seed a little bit, but no, Cody just climbs the ladder, gets the titles, and wins. And we did not expect Cody to not win this match in the slightest. So with a predictable ending, great match, great title match. That ending spot was so brutal, so good. Chef's kiss, ate it all up. I just love seeing these two guys fight. And then that led us to the main event. We're talking about the Men's Royal Rumble, and you want to talk about controversial. That is what we're going to use to sum up this entire match. In the beginning, we started out with number 1 being Rey Mysterio and number 2 being Penta. Just an amazing start. Like, you talk about, like, I just wanted to see them wrestle. Like, I was just like, screw the Rumble. Let's just have these two one-on-one right now. I thought it was so good. The chemistry is absolutely off the charts. They've never wrestled together in WWE, so we have to do that down the line. We have to. I mean, there's a lot of people Penta hasn't wrestled in WWE. That's one man that he's got to go against in a one-on-one match. I thought it was so good. So good. And then we had Chad Gable and Carmelo Hayes come out, number 3 and number 4. And I thought this when I was watching it. I was like, this might be just one of the best starts to a Rumble match I've ever seen. Like, you talk about just high pace, German suplexes. We had Carmelo Hayes coming in hot. We had destroyers everywhere. We had Canadian destroyers, Mexican destroyers, whatever you want to call it. All sorts of things, just high energy. And we had that for a while. So I thought it was amazing. I love fast-paced wrestling. It's not everybody's style. It's definitely my style. I loved it. And then we had one of the funniest spots in the entire match, and one that definitely went viral, which was number 8, Akira Tozawa coming out. And you might think, why in the world was that viral? Because it's just Akira. We love the man, but he's nothing he's not like a star. But he gets attacked by Carmelo Hayes from behind, who just got eliminated, so he's really mad about it. Takes his frustrations out on poor Akira, who was just chilling. He was ready to go. He was just chilling. He gets attacked so badly that they carry him to the back. He can't continue. Triple H is back there. He's scrambling. Well, somebody's got to replace him. Which, don't know why that's a rule. I didn't know that was a rule, but whatever. We're overlooking that. He looks around and he sees Speed. He sees iShow's Speed in the corner. He's like, Speed, you're in the Rumble. Go for it. Speed's like, what? Okay. And then he goes in there and he delivers an amazing performance with his time. It's just so funny to watch. Because he gets in there, he actually eliminates a couple of people thanks to Braun Breaker. But then that friendship is short-lived because as iShow Speed is celebrating, doing backflips and soaking in the crowd, feeling the Rumble energy, Breaker runs 23 miles back and forth through the ropes and delivers what might be the most brutal spear I've ever seen in my life, because iShow Speed is weighs like what, 90 pounds? He's a little bitty guy, and Breaker is just huge, and he literally breaks him in half. It looked absolutely brutal in all the best ways possible. He took it like a champ. He then goes and gets, so Braun Breaker picks him up, Gorilla Press, throws him to Otis, who's on the outside after being eliminated, and then Otis just chucks him over the announce table like he's nothing, and then that's the end of his journey. But amazing spot. I was laughing like crazy. Good stuff. And then we had, at number 15, say his name, and he appears. It was Joe Henry. Somebody said it. He appeared. Amazing pop. It was so good. And just, I love this TNA and WWE deal. I think it's just amazing. Seeing the TNA title in WWE is still so strange to me. But amazing stuff. It's just great. And Sheamus added a lot to this because Joe Henry was doing his offense and he started the clap chant. And Sheamus was just right along, just clapping. He was just clapping until Fatu stopped him, and he got mad at Fatu. He was like, hey, I was enjoying that. Why'd you stop that? And we had more stars come out. At number 23, we had John Cena come out to a huge ovation. He has the Last Time merch. Just amazing to see him. Shed a tear a little bit. Literally my Superman as a kid. Cannot stress that enough. This man I looked up to him so much. This is kind of surreal that he's retiring, but we're here for it. CM Punk came out at 24 and Seth at 25. So here come the heavy hitters. Star-studded Rumble for sure. Then you had Dirty Dom at 26. To quote Michael Cole, talk about a buzzkill. But he also did amazing. And this whole back half of the Rumble was just really good. It was, I think my favorite part about it was that like the beginning half was so fast-paced. And like there was action. And then this back half with all of the more developed stars and the big heavyweights was slower. And I thought that was just a really good balance. And the commentators like Michael Cole took note of it as well. So I thought that was really good to make mention of that and be like, yeah, actually this is cool. They're slowing it down. We're taking it easy, kind of thing. Thought it was good. And that brings us to the end. And I got to talk about the most shocking moment at the time. I was in for a ride because this was the first shocking moment, which was my freaking pick. CM Punk getting eliminated, but not just CM Punk getting eliminated, but also Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins getting eliminated at the same time, and then CM Punk shortly after them. A fight broke out. Seth Rollins absolutely lost his mind after getting eliminated, and he stomped Roman's on the floor and on the steps, so 2 stomps to the man, and literally tries to kill him. What more can you say? He tried to murder him in front of everybody. Everybody saw it. We'll see if he gets caught. We'll see if he gets tried, because that was indeed attempted murder. Which brings us to the 2. John Cena and Jey Uso. And that's when I thought, oh, okay, they are going to give it to Cena. Okay. I mean, I would have been fine with that, right? And so the writing was on the wall. It's like, it's Cena's night. He's going to win the Rumble. Here we go. And then John Cena lifts up Jey Uso on his shoulders for the attitude adjustment to the floor. And you think, that's it. Game, set, match. He's caught him. But Jey slips out of it. and pushes Cena off the apron. And I was floored. Shocked to my core. And so was everybody else. There wasn't a sound in the building. Everybody was so shocked. John Cena was shocked. Jay was shocked. I'm sure Triple H was shocked. He booked the damn thing, and I bet he was shocked. What in the world? That was so crazy. I would not have predicted Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble in a million years. In a million years. Nobody predicted him to win this match. Shout out. Here's what I think about it. Okay. In the moment, I was shocked, and I was going crazy. The dust has settled. People have talked about it. A lot of people upset, but look. I'm on Team Jay, and I'm going to say that with my chest. I'm sticking with it. I'm just happy WWE surprised me. That's really hard to do in this day and age. They surprised me. They surprised you. We should be thankful for that, in my opinion. And Jey Uso does deserve it, I think. You know, yes, would it have been better if maybe he didn't just fight Gunther? Probably. But you can still work with this. Absolutely, you can still work with this. And if he gets the title, like, okay, so now I think anything's possible. I didn't think he was going to win the Rumble. He wins the Rumble. Who says he doesn't win the title at WrestleMania? The yeets that are going to take over the city are going to be crazy. People are going to go nuts. It's going to be parades. It's going to be the greatest, one of the greatest underdog stories in history for sure. You're never going to top the Daniel Bryans. You're never going to top those guys. But, I mean, one of them for sure. You're never going to top the Kofis, but it's going to be one of the greatest underdog stories in history of wrestling. I'm all for it. John Cena, he'll get a shot. He's probably going to still be at WrestleMania. So I think we're fine. Even if he doesn't win the Elimination Chamber, I still think that. Going over both Rumbles, you had, on this side, on the women's side, you had the most predictable by-the-numbers winner that could have been. It was Charlotte Flair. And on the other side, you had the most unpredictable, unheard of winner that it could have been. I mean, unless it was somebody like Akira Tozawa coming back and winning, nobody would have predicted Jey Uso winning. Wild. So I'm a fan of this way. All right, I'm a fan of being surprised. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was a great show overall. The Men's Rumble, again, one of my favorites as far as bell-to-bell action. And I'm a fan of the finish. So there. I think it's a great decision. We'll see if I'm proven wrong. But I am rooting for Jey Uso and the story to continue. So, yeah. And that brings us to the end of the show. Good Lord, that was a lot to talk about. We got through it. Thank you for sticking with me. If you liked it, again, leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. We're going to be talking about this and more. The road to WrestleMania is officially kicked off. We're going to see where it takes us. Right now, who knows? Because I thought I knew. But everything I knew is no longer in play. So we're going to see what happens. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. And I will see you next time.